Hi, I'm Emily Tracey and I'm here with John Murray. This is going to be our last pre-occupation video at the Lyell Centre. Welcome back. It's been a couple months since we were here last in November, and we're just about a month, a little bit less than a month before we start moving in, which is pretty exciting. So can you tell us the big progress since we were last here in November?
Yeah, I think you can see obviously from the building behind us, Emily, things have come on apace. When we were last here, the building was surrounded by scaffolding. We went up on the roof, if you remember, and inside there was all sorts of fairly fundamental construction work going on. What we'll see now when we go inside the building is basically very close to the finished product. As you said, we're a month away now from occupying this building. Hopefully when we see the other building, that's even closer for occupation. But considering this week is actually 1 year since we recorded the turf cutting ceremony, things have really come on. The project is on time, it's on schedule. We're going to be moving people in when we said we would be moving people in. Basically, preparation is going on now for finishing touches such as laying the carpets. We've got all the furniture coming in, the desks and the storage units for this building a week on Monday, which is February the 1st. So that's very imminent now. Lots of guys working in there, finishing off. We've got various finishing touches going on all at the same time. Final electric works, preparing the floors for the carpets, paving going on here externally, the windows being finished off, big decorating teams. We've got basically shifts working in the building now to 1 o'clock every morning, 7 days a week, to make sure the thing is ready for when we move staff in, which will begin on Monday the 15th of February. So just, as we said, just a month away now.
So we're on schedule.
We're on
okay.
schedule. We are, fingers crossed, unless something very fundamental happens in the last month, we're on budget as well.
Great.
So yes, it's all looking good, and we're all getting ready now for the final push and then for the occupation process.
Okay, and we're standing outside of Lyell Centre 1 at the moment. You might be able to see some of the windows are missing. Do you just want to explain what happened there?
Yeah, we've got little snaggy details going on. I wasn't even aware of this, but what was picked up at a late stage, after the windows were all installed, they were all in there a couple of weeks ago. They found that for some reason on alternate windows, the wrong glass was going in, the wrong type of glazing, and it was a mismatch. So what they're doing now, this has no impact on the programme or the cost, but they're replacing all the windows, so we have the standard glazing as originally specified on every single window. So it does look a little bit odd at the moment with these panels on alternate windows, but the glazing, I can just see it from here actually, it's being done as we speak basically. That will be finished within the next week.
Great, okay. Well, we can talk more once we get inside, so we'll just head in and we'll see you in there. Okay, we're up on the top floor now, and you can see there's quite a lot of progress has been done up here. John, you just want to tell us what we're looking at?
Yeah, well, this is a really good example of the open plan accommodation which we will have on all 3 floors of the building. This is the floor, I think, which is really nearest completion. What you're seeing now is the decorating team just doing the finishing touches. As we mentioned when we were outside earlier, there's some window pane replacement work still to go on here. But really, this floor is virtually ready, and I expect carpets to go down in here next week, which will really transform the space. But it's largely ready to go. It gives you a nice indication of the size and scale of the open plan areas. We have a staircase over there, which is the internal BGS staircase, which we can access between our floors without going into the central area, the shared area of the building. What you can also see here is we've got all the trunking in place for all the multiple power and data outlets for the staff to use. And basically these clusters line up with where we will have the desk runs. So there'll be groups of desks going out into the open plan areas from this point. We're just at the stage now, probably another week, when we can get our IT teams in to do the real detailed cabling, take all the connections from the trunking to the desktops. We're getting ready now to install the telephone system. There'll also be a Wi-Fi network all the way throughout this building.
Okay.
All that detailed installation will be going in over the next 2 weeks, in time for, as I mentioned earlier, the first group of staff moving into the building on the 15th of February.
Yeah. What I quite like about the space is how open it is, and it's very white as well.
Yeah.
And you were talking about the lights earlier.
Yeah,
it's quite a natural light.
It is. I mean, the lighting technology is so good now. These are all LED lighting strips, and I think it does give a very effective and a very efficient lighting system within the building. I mean, obviously it will look very different when we get the carpet down and then we get all the desks in. because there'll be over 50 desks on this floor alone. But I just think with the colour scheme we've got, with the lighting technology we've got, I think it will be a nice, light and airy place to work.
Great space.
Yeah.
And seeing as we're on the top floor now, do you just want to talk about what that space is in the corner? Or any other
we've got one of the
unique spaces up here?
We've got one of the few enclosed areas. We'll be going there. You can see the mountings are in place. There's going to be partitioning put in there with a doorway, and that's an enclosed, secure area within this top floor. Which is for the team we've got working with us from the Department of Energy and Climate Change, who need a kind of bespoke environment, a more enclosed and secure environment to do their work. So that will be an enclosed space with a door, with access control on the door, with limited access. So that's just one corner of this floor. And
downstairs in that same corner, that's where meeting rooms are?
Yes,
they're kind of spread out
the
in the
meeting
corners.
rooms kind of spread out. They're in slightly different places on each floor. But on this floor, we've got meeting rooms at this end of the open plan area. We've also got some more meeting rooms at the far end. They're in a different configuration on each floor, but basically what we're trying to do on every floor, completely within the BGS wing, is have 3 or 4 meeting rooms of various sizes on each floor. We've also got the central meeting room spaces in the central core area, the shared area with Heriot Watt colleagues, which we'll see in a moment.
And on every floor there's hot desks as well?
Yeah, we've got a fair number of hot desks. I think in total we've got somewhere between about 12 and 15 hot desks spread over each floor. They tend to be at the far end of the building over there towards the shared core area. We've also got space on each floor for photocopying, multifunction photocopying devices. Okay. And again, we put them down at the far end, which is away from where we're going to have the staff desk clusters.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, we are in the staff communal area now, which is quite in the center of the building, still on the top floor. Do you just want to explain what's happening? It looks like they're about to start painting, actually.
Yes, we're in the space we were just in the open plan office area. They were just finishing the painting and decorating more or less there, and they're now just literally moving into this area as we're filming it. So you're right, Emily. I mean, this is one of the key spaces in the building. We're on the top floor still. We're in the shared core area where the 2 wings of the building meet. So this is the mixing area, the social area. I don't know whether this room will eventually be given a name, but I just regard it at the moment as the staff social area. So, as you said, we're final touches on the decoration. The floor coverings will be going down next week. We've got kitchen areas, tea preparation points, and this space will be filled with a variety of soft furnishings, sofas, tables, chairs, dining tables, a complete mix and match of furniture for staff to come anytime.
Eating, dining, and
yes,
meeting.
Eating, dining, and meeting. That's a good way of putting it. So we do actually have a food preparation point over there. If we host events and functions in here, this is where I guess we will bring people, visitors, guests. Food will be provided as necessary, but it's basically during day-to-day basis. It's a staff social area. People to just come and have their sandwiches, have their lunch, have a chat, cups of tea, everything like that.
And just behind us?
Yes. We've got a little bit of a feature here, which is the balcony. Just having finishing touches, the door's got to be glazed. But again, we're taking advantage of being at the highest point of the building with a nice aspect looking back over towards the city of Edinburgh. So I guess we won't be using it much at this time of year, but in the summer, staff will be able to just step outside there, get a bit of fresh air and have a nice view back over towards the city,
Great. So it looks like this room is probably the next after the room we were just in. They're just going to put down the carpets and then it should be ready to go again.
In a week's time, I suspect. In a week's time, I'll be back here next week, and I would expect to see this completely decorated, the ceiling finished, the panels put up in the ceiling, the final lighting going in, the carpets, and then it's ready for the furniture.
So we're just coming down the stairs from the top floor onto floor 1.
Yep, this is we're on floor 1 now, which is a very similar layout to the top floor, which we've just had a look at. Again, open plan office area, but what we'll have a look at specifically on this floor is we've got the larger shared meeting rooms in the core area. So we'll look directly below where we've just been in the staff social area on the floor below. But we're now using the stairs, the internal stairs within the BGS wing, which will be the main access route for our own staff up and down the floors. There is another grander spiral staircase from the main reception in the middle of the building, which hopefully we might get a look at later on. But this is the more functional staircase, which just gives access to each of the BGS open plan floors.
We're now in one of the shared meeting room areas. Do you want to tell us what's going on in here and the kind of layout?
Yeah, well, as you can see, Emily, this is a shared meeting room in the core area. We're on floor 1, the middle floor of the building. So we're directly below where we were just filming in the staff social area. Again, this is in the shared hub of the building, and this will be one of 2 larger meeting rooms. It's going to be fitted out shortly with AV kit over on this wall here, video technology, video conferencing equipment. The guys are just in, as we've seen elsewhere in the building, doing the final touches to the decorating, preparing the room for painting. Carpet will be going down very shortly, and this room will be more or less finished. We've got, between the 2 rooms at this point, we've got a small area in the middle there, which is actually going to be devoted to some displays and exhibits about Charles Lyell, after whom the building is obviously named. So that will be a little interesting educational area for staff between these 2 main meeting rooms.
Some comfy chairs going in there and stuff as well.
Yeah, right? It's a small area, so there will be just maybe seating for 2 or 3 people there, but it will be a couple of there'll be some artefacts from Lyell's life. I think there may be a bust of him going in there. So it'll be like a small breakout area, but in an informative and educational way. Yeah.
Great. We're now standing in front of the support building, also known as Lyell Centre 2, where it's nearly finished. All the outside, the paving, everything's in place. So just want to talk us through what we're looking at.
Yeah. It is amazingly quiet over here compared to the other site, because it is virtually finished. We'll see a little bit of work going on as we explore indoors, but we're about a week away now on this building. Some final touches going on inside, but I mean, as you can just see from standing here, we've even got the landscaping, the shrubs have been planted, the fences are up. So this building is virtually ready for occupation. Not quite, as I say, maybe about another week or so. But we'll see as we walk around, Emily, that we've already started moving in some preparatory material, desks and so on are already inside. Not quite ready, but almost, and it's I think everybody who sees this building is quite impressed by the way it's turned out.
Yeah, no, it does. It looks excellent from the outside.
Yeah.
We just noticed the bike racks have just gone in as well.
Yes.
Which reminds me, we didn't talk about the bike storage in Lyell Centre 1.
Yeah, there's still quite a lot of work going on over in the other building, so it wasn't really appropriate to try and capture it today. But yeah, the main cycle storage facility is over in the other building, and we're going to have storage, I think, for about 20 bikes inside the building there. And there are also 2 sets of showers in there, 2 double sets of showers. I think there's 4 showers in total in that building. But obviously we will have staff cycling who will be working in this building as well. So we've got a more basic provision for cycles to be stored here outside the building. But again, there are shower facilities within this building as well. So we're covering it here as well.
And this building to our right?
Yeah, this is a separate standalone storage unit basically. And this is going to be largely occupied by equipment and material for our seismology team. So they'll be storing various things in there which they use largely as part of their fieldwork activities and their monitoring activities around the UK. So basically it will be racked and filled with equipment stores, really, battery stores, various other bits and pieces will go in there. So that's quite a nice, and again, you know, for a very functional building, it's quite a nice looking building purely for storage. We'll see as we go inside the main building here, the support building, Lyell Centre 2, there is a large area of this devoted to storage and collections and archive material, which is basically more or less half the function of this building, but we will also see the big working areas we've got for our marine geophysics team, the cranes, the test tank, various other things as we go around. Okay.
And just before we go in, we've got all the landscaping done here, the hard landscaping and the paving.
Yeah, everything.
And do you just going to give us a quick update about the landscaping over
Yes,
on the other
I will. And also I can talk about the new car park facility, because this is quite, we get quite a nice view of it from over here. There's just a little bit of soft landscaping to be done here, some more planting of shrubs, grassing. It's obviously, it needs to be the right time of year, so I think it'll be a little bit further into the spring. But it's probably, I would say, 90 to 95% complete now over here. What will happen soon is all the Morrison site cabins will come down. We'll gain that land back again. The landscaping is going on. It's just beginning really over the other side, outside the main building, Lyell Centre 1. Unfortunately, the weather has been so wet this winter, it is really like a quagmire over there at the moment. But we did notice when we were in the building earlier on, they're starting to do the landscaping and some of the connecting footpaths. That will probably take a few more weeks to complete, and the grassing and the turfing will take a little bit longer. But the main development we're going to be doing now, and this is really we've just agreed this literally within the last 24 hours, is we are going to create an additional car park space between these two buildings, and it'll be more or less where the Morrison site compound and their porta-cabins are at the moment, towards the main Lyell Centre building. And we're going to have a new car park there, which will be 112 car parking spaces. So the landscaping plan is now going to be tweaked to accommodate that. But car parking for our staff, for BGS staff, has always been a little bit of a worrying issue for staff, and I think this is a really good development. The fact that we can put in a new car park immediately adjacent to our building, can only help our staff get used to working and travelling over here each day.
We're now inside the support building, LC2. It's a clean environment where I have to wear blue shoes. Do you just want to tell us where we are in the building, ground floor, and what the purpose of this space is?
Yeah, sure. We've just literally come inside the building through the main entrance, the front door, and turned right, so we're on the ground floor. What we've got here is at the moment a nice clean example of one of our storage and collection areas within this building. I said outside that this building has two main functions. The storage, archival, collection side is one thing, and this is the kind of area which is typical in this end of the building here. So we're seeing it now as a lovely, pristine, freshly painted space. There will be lots of racking and benching going in here shortly. But this is basically our core collection teaching area, or will be our core collection teaching area, which is a function we have currently over in the present building at Merchant House, which will be dismantled and brought in here. So this will be a large space. There'll be lots of benching in here, lots of examination space to look at core samples and other samples, which will be brought in here from various parts of the building. Not least, there's a major store just through the double doors over there, which has mobile racking. So this is going to be one of the major areas for people coming in to visit the building and to use the facility we've got here to examine the collections which we will hold, and which are now in the process of moving into the building.
We've got this neat little
over
room
this
over
side
here.
Of the building, we've got a more specialised function of our core collection facilities, which is we have a chilled area in there, but we also have a deep freeze in there for collections. And this will, in particular, this chilled, the cool and the freezing area will be used in conjunction with colleagues at Heriot Watt as well, from their departments, who will store samples in there as well. So this is another nice example of a brand new facility which will be used by both BGS and Heriot Watt on a collaborative basis.
We're now in the vast space of the Marine Geologists Operations area. Do you want to tell us again what we're looking at here, standing in this space?
Yeah, sure, Emily. Well, I mean, this is an absolutely vast space. It's eerily quiet now because, again, it's basically finished. All the work's been done, the preparatory work's been done. It's just waiting to be commissioned for the services to come on. What you'll see at the moment is it's actually an incoming storage area for the racking, which we referred to earlier. So we've got a mixture here of brand new racking, recycled racking from our other sites, all of which is being brought in here basically as a holding area, and then will be taken to some of the areas like the room we just saw, fitted out, ready to take in all the collections to move over from our two present sites. What we've also got a little bit further across here is we're starting to bring in the actual lathes, the tools the guys use out at Lonehead at the moment, the mechanical engineering equipment, pillar drills, etc., which will all be moved shortly and installed into the appropriate areas in the ground floor of this building. But what really impresses about this building here is the space, the height, and you can see now we've got a really good view of the dual crane installation we've got in this building. So we've got a 40-ton crane at the back, and then we've got a 10-ton capacity crane just in front of it. And we are in the process of commissioning. We're just about to train our guys on using these cranes safely. We're also bringing in a smaller 5-ton capacity crane from our Lonehead site, and this will all be used fairly soon now to move our marine equipment around, to move containers around, ship containers around within this space. And I think it's just a fantastic facility. Yeah. Everybody who comes in here,
you really get the idea of the height as well.
It's really, really impressive. You can see we've got 3 roller shutter doors there, really big high roller shutter doors because we have to lift equipment. We have to take it out, put it on the back of lorries, be going in and out, put it inside containers, lift one ship container over another within this space. What we've also got just behind this racking here is we've got the test well, which we looked at way back last year when it was under construction, which is an 8-meter deep, basically a tank of water, which the guys will be able to use the cranes, take some of the equipment which is destined to go on field work in the oceans, and drop it down into this 8-meter tank of water for testing purposes. So this is going to be a really exciting and interesting place when we kick off operations, which we'll be doing, within the next month.
We are in the office space of the support building now.
Yes, this is the central office, well, really the only office space in this building. So everybody who's going to be working in this building, regardless of function, will have a desk in here. So it's an open plan office environment. Between 20 and 25 people will be able to work in here. Given the nature of the work which will be going on in this building, there'll be a lot of people away all the time on field work in particular. So I would never really expect to see this office fully occupied. And I think actually talking to the marine geology team, they're planning to work on a kind of hot desk basis in here when they get established. But we're putting in about 22 desks. This room, again, as you can see, it's nice to see a room which is actually carpeted. Finishing touches just being done with the decor now. The furniture is already here. What we're doing in this space is we're bringing over some of the best furniture we've got in the existing building at Merchant House. So that's being recycled here.
And then just outside this room, we've got the
catering.
kitchens,
Yes, we've got tea point. What you'll see later on the floor above is we've got a small kind of social area, rest area for the teams here, which is quite a nice facility. It's got a nice viewing window looking down onto the big operations area where we've just been with the cranes and the tank. So yeah, this building is quite nicely provisioned for catering. Again, there's a specific meeting room for the staff in this building. So I think everybody who comes in here thinks it's quite a nice, impressive facility.
It's definitely a nice space to finish on because it gives us an impression of what the other building will also look like when it's complete.
Within the next month, the other building will be up to the same level of readiness as this one is now.
Well, thanks very much, John. This is probably our last video.
It probably is the final video.
It's been a nice journey.
It's been a long journey. It's been an interesting journey. It's been fun in places. It's been horrendous in others. But yeah, it's really nice to see the finished product really coming online now. It's good. I think we've got a really good facility for the next at least the next 40-50 years for BGS in Edinburgh.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.